Ah! How about it, One last go around, eh? Ah, fangs away now, bloody son. Why, hello there, and welcome to another helping of the Bloody Fang-Tastic Show, what also is the final ever episode. Yes, I've just decided, 16 episodes is probably enough. Anyway, yes, before all that, we've got a full episode ahead of us, so let's get into it. So this, for our final helping of the Bloody Fang-Tastic Show, I thought I would go over the granddaddy of all vampire movies. So, I'm gonna go over Nosferatu. Let's do the review bit first, shall we? So, this is directed by F.W. Murnau, and of course it is based on the work by Bram Stoker, Dracula, and it stars Max Schreck, Gustav von Waringen, Greta Skoll or something, Alexander Grench, Ruth Lansoff, and Wolfgang Hines. So as I've said already, this is a very loose adaptation of Bram Stoker's book Dracula, only the characters are changed up and everything and renamed and stuff to avoid copyright infringements, as at the time they did not have the green light to do this film because it had to be run by Bram Stoker's estate, as Stoker had only been dead 10 years at that time and his work wasn't public domain yet. So basically, the story of Dracula, he seduces a woman, we get a vampire hunter involved, we get a town involved, etc. So let's get to my likes and dislikes. First of all, I love this film. In fact, I went in 1922 to see this film. I was actually in Germany and there was a showroom showing the film, and I thought, kind of like Stoker's book, which it was. But I was amazed by the effects at the time. They had good visual effects, and they still hold up to this day with the makeup and Max Schreck's look of Nosferatu as Count Orlok, and has gone on to be referenced in pop culture, including SpongeBob SquarePants and so many other things I can't think of the top of my head. Anyway, we also get some good stop-motion animation, which at the time I thought was groundbreaking, and I bet you're all thinking, people could do stop-motion animation back then? Yes, they could. You see, animation is well over 100 years old, and wasn't as good as it is now, but still, groundbreaking stuff for the time. But of course, movies and cinema at that time was considered real magic because magicians only ever used them. But it's now a big enterprise in the entertainment industry, of course. But this film is silent. It's a silent film, and there's no talking, so every now and then a card comes up with dialogue for you to read, and if you don't mind reading, check it out, because the silent films, they're very underappreciated in the modern age, I feel, and a lot of them are in the public domain and are free to watch on YouTube because they're that old now. This is about 94 minutes long, and it's over 100 years old, but it's a German classic and has gone on to be regarded as that, a classic, and has, I feel, withstood the test of time, and even a century later it is immortalised, and we still talk about it and know of it now, don't we? So, Nosferatu, what am I going to rate this one? You know what, I think I shall give, do I have anything to dislike? No, I don't think I do. It had some good pictures, some good visuals, although some effects are a little bit poor. They were very good for their time and a lot of effort went into it. So I'm going to give Nosferatu. You know what, it's the last one. I want to end on a good note. I'll give it 5 fangs out of 5. So there you go. There is my review. Now let's go to our next part of the show, and that is our mythos. In this film, the vampire Nosferatu, he has a rat bat-like appearance with a bald head, pointy ears, and his fangs in the centre of his teeth. Not only that, but he also has a slender figure and long extended fingers with claws. Also burns in the sunlight into dust, as we see at the end of the film. And also other religious symbols are his weakness, as well as other vampire tropes. The movie was banned in Sweden due to its excessive horror, and the ban was finally lifted in 1972, 50 years after the film was released. All known prints of the film were ordered to be destroyed under the terms of settlement of the lawsuit of Bram Stoker's widow. However, the film would subsequently resurface through the second generation of reels in other countries. Count Orlok is only seen blinking once on screen, near the end of Act 1. Many of the scenes were filmed of Count Orlok during the day, and when viewed in black and white, this became extremely obvious. This potential blooper, however, was corrected on the official versions of the movie when they are tinted blue to represent the night. The film is an adaptation of Bram Stoker's book Dracula, but to avoid any copyrights, they changed the name of the characters and some of the setting names so that they wouldn't get done for copyright infringements. However, when they credited Bram Stoker at the beginning of the film, Bram Stoker's estate knew that this was an unauthorized adaptation of his work, which eventually did lead to the whole lawsuit battle. But as of 1982, Dracula went into the public domain, meaning anyone could do what they want with it. The creature that they say is a werewolf during the scene at the inn is really a hyena, thinking people at the time would not notice the difference between a wolf and a hyena. The 2002 film, The Shadow of a Vampire, is a fictionalized description of the events surrounding the film's production based on the urban legend that Max Schreck was an actual vampire, and Max Schreck was played by Willem Dafoe in the film. On March 4th, 2022, the film had reached its 100th anniversary and remains a classic to this very day. This was the first film to introduce the whole vampire burning to dust in the sunlight, and had never been done before in any fictional vampire telling. Even in Bram Stoker's novel, Dracula did not burn in the sunlight, but by day his powers were weakened. Well, there you go. That has been this month's episode, and this has been the Bloody Fang-Tastic Show. So yes, sadly, this is the last ever one. Yes, I'm getting on now, I'm 507. I'm getting on, in my years as a vampire. And, well, I'm not going to stop living, but I want to start doing more vampiric things. Me and Yakumo have talked about walking around the world again. For the first time in a long time, so we're going to be doing some of that. Sightseeing and blood orgies and have sex. So yeah, we're going to be doing all those crazy things, but hey, to be here doing this show for you people has been a great privilege. And I want to thank the boss, Random Ross, for having me do a show on this channel. I mean, I only ever did my vlog videos, and he wanted to distribute them onto his YouTube channel, which he did, which I believe you can watch as well. Anyway, yes, I have been Lark the Vampire. This has been the Bloody Fang-Tastic Show, and I want to thank you all for watching and tuning in for all the episodes. And every episode, it will always be available for you to watch. So, for the last time, I have been Lark the Vampire, and this has been the Bloody Fang-Tastic Show. So until next time, don't have nightmares. Cheers, everyone.